As soon as I saw the camera, I knew it was over. I was in the back of the cop car with legit truckloads of explosives to my left. There was a bunch of barking dogs. The security guards were screaming at me like, holy shit, it was such a disaster. So, a few years ago, I got assigned a project for class to film a suspenseful documentary. In just a few days, I wrote a script, I jumped in the car with a bunch of my friends, and I drove 7 hours to this place called Centralia. But if only I knew that in just a few hours, I was going to be handcuffed in the backseat of a cop car. So, Centralia, which was nicknamed Silent Hill, it's like roughly what they based the games on, is a small coal mining town in eastern Pennsylvania that is now absolutely completely abandoned. In 1962, an accidental fire was lit in the coal mines underneath of the town, and this forced all of the residents to quickly evacuate, leaving the small town just a total wasteland. I mean, it was once this super busy town square, and it just turned into ghost town almost overnight, and the town has been on fire now for nearly 60 whole years, actually, which is crazy to think about. But people aren't 100% positive how the fires actually started, but it's rumored that after they cleared out the coal deposits, they cleared out the mine shafts underground, they would fill up the old tunnels with trash. And they did this as an effort to create more space for the landfills. And somehow that trash caught fire, which led to a massive chain reaction that eventually caught up to fresh coal deposits, creating a fire with enough fuel to literally burn for a century. During my research for this project, I learned that 15 people still lived in the town that just completely refused to leave. And I don't know how many people still live there today, but I know that there's a few. And there was this church on the largest hill of Centralia that people actually still visited. My whole goal for the project was to get to this church with my friends and to speak to somebody from the town for my documentary. The only problem was that many of the roads were completely caved in from the fires, making travel almost impossible by car, so finding a route to this church was just a complete nightmare. Once we arrived, we saw the church at the top of the hill and started our walk. There was this huge abandoned highway that we had to walk up first, which was just miles and miles of graffiti, which was so cool. I mean, this led to some pretty awesome pictures that I took, and I heard online that you could just follow the roads up to this church, and it ended up being almost 15 whole miles of windy and kind of dangerous roads to walk up, and it was uphill. So I had the bright idea to maybe just cut through the forest and try and make a straight shot up to the church, because in theory this is a lot quicker, right? Like theoretically it isn't an awful idea until you factor in the amount of trespassing that happens when you just kind of start walking in a straight line over land that you don't own, you know? So after about an hour into our walk, we noticed that there's this huge clearing of land where there were no trees. It was just gravel and dirt, and like a pretty faint path leading into this valley. We didn't see any no trespassing signs, at least I didn't, and again, we knew that this place was supposed to be abandoned for years, so naturally we chose to just explore a bit. Never in a million years would I have expected what we ended up finding next. At the end of this clearing, there was maybe 10 to 15 trucks, like 14 wheelers, right? And they were all lined up to this huge cave on the side of the hill. The license plates for these trucks were from all of these super far away places like Alabama, Tennessee. I remember even seeing one from Washington State, but we were taking pictures and just goofing off in this ravine because it was one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen. When I noticed at the end of the row of trucks, there was a small light. And when I went over to the small light, my stomach dropped instantly because it was a hunting camera and it was flashing the light because it was recording us. Like one of those ones that like turn on with any type of motion, and I have no idea how long the batteries on these last, and I'm sure that Some of them are probably even like solar powered, but it was definitely on and recording, which led me to gather everybody up and just try and get out of there as fast as we could. Not even 10 minutes later, these 3 brown trucks just started darting up the dirt hill, and I knew we were in trouble. We just sat there and waited for them to get up the hill. Then we were greeted by multiple security guards and barking dogs all over the place. This place seemed pretty important in hindsight. The guards just put us all in cuffs, and then they started questioning us on the side of the road, like on the curb. Then 2 of them pulled me into the police car and started interrogating me. They were like opening up all of our bags and checking through all of our stuff. They were going through all of our camera equipment, and it was like they thought that we had weapons or something. So all of us were obviously scared, but also confused why they were being so forceful and like on edge about this whole situation. I understand that trespassing is extraordinarily illegal, but I don't know, something was just off. Like they were just so on edge. After talking to the police for a while, they finally seemed to understand that I was just some kid exploring and I ended up at the wrong place. I told them about my documentary and like showed them some pictures and videos and stuff, and that I was just here to take more pictures and to learn more about the town. So that's when they like really eased up a bit, and then they finally told me why they were being so forceful and like scared about this whole situation. So apparently, just 2 weeks prior to our trip, a group of people snuck into this exact same place that we were in. They broke open the doors of the trucks that we were just playing around and stole almost 100 pounds of TNT, of dynamite, out of the trucks, which was still there, by the way, and we were just throwing rocks at it. We had no idea that the whole time we were just goofing off, tossing stones over and at these trucks, that there was literally thousands of pounds of dynamite separating us. So, I mean, you picture it from the security's perspective, because now I totally get it. They see a group of people show up again out of nowhere carrying strangely shaped bags, like the ones I carried my microphones and green screens and lights and whatever else in. So obviously they thought we were this exact same group about to do literally like another TNT heist on this mining company's property. I mean, it was like we were playing Minecraft Factions, just trying to get into somebody else's base. But yeah, anyway, since it was private property, the guards made us stay put until the owner showed up, because ultimately it was actually up to him whether or not to press charges. So these people that like quote unquote arrested us, they weren't police officers, they were just security guards for this property that this other dude owned. And yeah, I mean, since we were totally very illegally trespassing in apparently a very serious no-no place, it was up to this other guy what would happen to us. Like, we could not have been trespassing in a worse area. I think this was like the Area 51 of Pennsylvania. It took like 40 minutes for this guy to finally show up, and it was funny because he was this huge bald dude, like ripped as hell, and he was carrying this little chihuahua with him. He was legit built like an anime supervillain, I'm not even kidding. And after I talked to him for a while, he agreed to let us go without pressing charges, thank God. With our pride in shambles and with the sun setting, we ventured back down the path that we came without ever getting to see the church, let alone even getting close to it. I mean, like, the plan could not have gone any worse. We screwed it all up so bad. My documentary ended up being so awful. But after I told my teacher about the whole situation and the story of, you know, the trouble that we got in and what happened, he still reluctantly gave me an A for my effort and dedication for at least trying to make a pretty good video. I think this whole process is what really lit my flame for video making and production and editing, because more than anything, I just wanted to feel that rush again, you know, of getting like really good footage and trying my best to put together a super entertaining video. Even though the documentary, this time at least, ended up getting totally botched. Even though while this whole thing was happening, I was pretty terrified. In the end, I guess it still makes for a pretty good story, and it's one that I love to tell my friends and family when it comes up, so I hope you guys ended up enjoying it as well. Let's just hope that this video was a bit more entertaining than my childhood documentary was. As always, I can't thank you guys enough for watching. It really means the world to me to read all of your comments, and if you enjoy this kind of thing, consider dropping a like or subbing to the channel for more videos like this one. Thanks again as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.